Guys, what's up and welcome to Skrrt Garage. My name is Connor and today we've got an awesome video. We have a 2017 Jaguar F-Type SVR versus a 2015 Jaguar F-Type R. This is all very interesting because the SVR is the Mac Daddy of the F-Type range, and the 2015 R Coupe was the only year that the R Coupe came in rear-wheel drive. So there's inherent differences in the all-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive from the get-go. So today what we're going to do is find out which is fastest. We're going to do some standing starts, we're going to do some rolling races, we're going to do a side-by-side comparison to see which things are different between the two cars. We'll then also jump into the interiors. We'll see really if the SVR is worth that premium that you have to pay to get it. We'll also check the intake noise. I have an aftermarket intake on my car, so we'll see if it's that much more dramatic when you're comparing it to an SVR. We'll then look at an exhaust comparison. We'll see if the SVR with its titanium exhaust is any louder. We'll use a little decibel meter on our phones. And of course, guys, we will have that post-race commentary. So if you guys are new to the channel, please consider giving this video a big old thumbs up. Of course, hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell next to it so you can be alerted each and every time I make a new upload. And we want this channel to grow, guys, so please share the video, leave a positive comment down below. We'd really appreciate that. Alright guys, let's get started with this video. It is time. We have the 2015 Jaguar F-Type R over here versus the 2017 Jaguar F-Type SVR. It is very windy, so I'm sorry if you guys get a little bit of wind mic. I will try to limit that as best I can. What I'm going to do right now is walk around the car, kind of show you a few of the different features from the outside, then we'll jump inside, we'll get that exhaust comparison like always, and then we have to run these. So first off, up front, visually, you can tell just how much more aggressive that SVR looks. You can also tell looking at these that the air intakes on the SVR are so much wider. They look honestly really aggressive. He was following me earlier and I'm wildly impressed with how good that looks. Coming up top, we can see, let's get a little closer. So I really like these carbon fiber hood vents right here. I think those look aggressive. If you come over to the 15R, the hood vents are a little bit more towards the midline. They're more centered and they're not like louver style. They're just, they have slats on the inside of them. Different look for different tastes. Where you start to see more differences is when you walk around the side. So I'm not really sure what this is. I think this is a government regulation. I think the government regulation states that the tire can't be wider than the actual body of the car. So some manufacturers will cheat, and they'll cheat by making little plastic inserts that stick out a little bit to allow for their very large wheels. Speaking of wheels, let's just take a look at these monstrous Jaguar SVR wheels. So first off, you can tell they have the ceramic brake option. They are 265 35/20 as compared to the 255 35/20. So they are 10 millimeters wider. Also, you can definitely tell that these rotors are just meant for business. These are the carbon ceramics. They are Brembo discs. They have these kind of locking inserts on the rotors. It looks very aggressive. These are supposedly lightweight wheels as well that were offered on the SVR. If you take a look back in this direction, you can see these little louvers as well. Those are supposed to help extract heat from the wheel well, and that will come out obviously the side right here. Also great looking Jaguar carbon fiber piece, carbon fiber here, as opposed to my lowly F-Type R, which has no inner heat extractors, smaller tires, or smaller width in tires. I guess the height and the diameter of the rim is the same. I also don't have any heat extractors on the side. I do not have any carbon fiber mirror caps, as is life when you're not as rich as this guy. So if we look at the base of the car here, another interesting point is the Jaguar F-Type R. It has a side skirt that kind of tucks underneath the car. It makes it look very trim and athletic. You can kind of see that if you're standing up above, you no longer see that. It kind of comes from underneath and it gets eventually wider, and it ends up molding with this rear piece back here. Well, the same is true for the F-Type SVR, except that it starts a lot further forward. The side skirt for the F-Type SVR starts way up front here, and you can see it working itself out right from the very beginning of this fender vent. So pretty interesting. It's wider and it's longer all the way down. Whereas again, my F-Type R, it doesn't start till about the door frame where you can start seeing it pop out. Kind of interesting. If you go around back, there is the same little plastic piece, again for government regulation right here. This one also has it, but you can tell that these tires are just a little bit wider. The F-Type R comes with 295s and the SVR comes with 305s. Again, it's the same height, but if you are back here in the rear brakes, there's one interesting thing. This has two sets of brake calipers, a tiny one up top and then a large one in the middle for these Jaguar carbon ceramic brakes. Over here, you just have one lowly brake caliper. Does a pretty good job of stopping though, so I'm not too worried about that. If we walk around back, of course, the Jaguar F-Type SVR has this awesome carbon fiber spoiler. It looks very, very good. It also comes with a titanium exhaust from factory. You can kind of see the bluing hue of it. Another thing that I thought was pretty interesting with these cars is if you come around over here to the Jaguar F-Type R from 2015, you'll see that the valence starts about here, about 3 inches within the back bumper here. It kind of comes up and it molds around the back. Pretty interesting. If you come over to the F-Type SVR, you'll notice that the valence actually starts right where the rear fascia meets this fender. So it starts way over here and then it wraps around, and the SVR has a special little diffuser with a unique setup down here. The normal F-Type R has this same piece, but the SVR comes with this extra little carbon fiber arrow. Pretty cool. And besides that, you know, on the grand scheme of things, they don't look too different. I did tint my taillights. I do love the way that those yellow brake calipers pop though. I think it looks incredible. If we quickly open the 15R Coupe, we see we've got white stitching here, kind of aluminum door accents. If we step into the car, one thing you'll notice pretty quickly is I have these kind of two-tone black and cream white seats. Looks really good. If you come over towards the middle, one thing that is different about the 15R is it has these bronze accents. So, you know, the start button, the dynamic switch indicator, the shifter paddles, they're all bronze. Otherwise, it's pretty standard affair in here. Let's go check out the SVR. So guys, the Jaguar F-Type SVR has these very cool contrasted blue stitching. I also really like this stitched leather that comes in the SVR, and I've never noticed this until now. I don't know if it's all SVRs or if this is something you have to buy or purchase, but the Jaguar logo in this car, I don't know if I can make it work because there's a glare, but it's blue. Is that stock? One of you guys let me know if you have to order that or not, but I think that's just really cool. Again, you have the stitched quilted looking leather here. You have suede on the steering wheel, suede up top, and the same up top here, more suede. Looks very, very good. I also really like the way that the carbon fiber looks in the interior. Besides that, the other big change is that these have aluminum shift paddles here, and the dynamic switch is also aluminum. Looks very, very good. Beyond that, man, really things are looking pretty similar. Cool. I have to get this on camera. Who do you think is gonna win? This guy?
Me.
I think so too. I mean, definitely from a dig, he has to win. I'm sure Jaguar did the research, and I'm sure they made this so it could beat all the other variants and the range. However, we are gonna find out. This is my man. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yep, I'm Sammy with the.leaper on Instagram. If you guys want to follow me, let's hit it.
This is his tag right here. Definitely check him out. His car is sick. I've never seen an SVR that's blue, and that also has these beautiful carbon ceramic brakes. It is absolutely gorgeous. So definitely give him a follow. Let's get this going, man. Monica! I think I might have pulled out ahead of you a little bit.
I think I heard that delay again. I'm like, what?
Yep. That was good, that was good. That was a good one, perfect.
Yep.
It happens, it happens.
Yeah. I forgot the shift. Okay.
That was a really good one and I beat you.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Holy shit.
Guys, what did you think of the video? First off, let's talk about some of the other comparisons besides the drag races. Let's talk about the intake noise first. To my ears and to the ears of the owner of the SVR, it definitely sounded like the F-Type R with the aftermarket intakes had a larger supercharger whine, and that makes sense. They're open cone filters underneath the headlights and they produce an awesome sounding whine. That being said, it definitely does sound like the SVR has a pretty solid amount of whine, definitely more than what my R had before I put these intakes on. And as far as the exhaust comparison goes, I wouldn't read too much into the decibel numbers that we got. They both recorded a 116. The SVR recorded a 116.6 and the R recorded a 116 flat. However, I've gotten a 120 on this one before, so I wouldn't really read too much into those numbers. I just wanted to see if there was a stark comparison between the two cars on a decibel reader. And the main thing is, when you're standing behind the cars in person, they sound very, very, very similar in their loudness of the exhaust itself. The one difference that you can find is the SVR has a little bit more of a dense sound. It has more of a full kind of thick sound, whereas the R with the non-titanium exhaust sounds a little bit more hollow and a little bit higher pitch when it does its crackles. Okay, now it's time to transition and talk about the rolling races and the drag races. Now, this is the most interesting part for me by far. We knew that the Jaguar F-Type SVR was gonna win the standing starts, and it did. If we left at the exact same time, the SVR always got the whole shot because it can put all of its power down, and that initial 20-30 feet it always took off. And it will win that race, and I don't think that the R could even catch it until about 90 to 100 miles an hour. But we have to talk about the rolling races. How interesting was that? See guys, I just assumed that the engineers, the boys at Jaguar, would have after hours raced an older F-Type R coupe with rear-wheel drive versus the new SVR, and I just figured that they would have engineered the SVR to win against any other car within the range of the F-Types. But that's not true. We found that the F-Type R rear-wheel drive was faster on those rolling races, and I think I know why. So first off, the 2015 is the only model year that you can get the F-Type R coupe in rear-wheel drive. Everything after that, 2016 and up, is all all-wheel drive. And so you have an inherent difference in just the amount of weight that these cars make. The all-wheel drive system, the extra transfer case, the differential, and that other componentry actually adds about 100 to 150, sometimes 200 pounds of extra metal between the two cars. So if you start to look at the difference between the F-Type R coupe rear-wheel drive versus the F-Type SVR, you already see about 100 to 150 pound weight difference. And considering that the SVR only makes 25 horsepower more, the coupe, the 15 coupe, kind of claws back at the SVR just with that extra weight advantage. Then you start to consider the drivetrain loss. And the drivetrain loss is basically the difference between what the engine makes versus what the engine can put to the wheels at the ground. And basically it goes like this. If you have an all-wheel drive car, you can basically chop off about 20% of your engine's power when it tries to get to the ground, and we call that drivetrain loss, right? The 15 coupe, which is rear-wheel drive, has 5% less. It has 15% drivetrain loss, which is obviously going to allow more of the engine's power to get to the ground because it has less drivetrain to work through, to twist. So if you run those numbers, the 2017 F-Type SVR, which makes 575 horsepower, actually puts 460 wheel horsepower to the ground, whereas the 2015 F-Type R rear-wheel drive can put 470 horsepower to the ground. So when you consider that the 2015 R coupe can make 10 horsepower more to the ground and that it weighs 100 to 150 pounds less, you start to figure out why the R coupe can pull away from the very expensive F-Type SVR. So pretty interesting to say the least. I was a little bit flabbergasted when that happened. You can tell from the video, so was the SVR owner. Very interesting. Anyways, that's gonna do it for us here at Skrrt Garage. I really hope that you guys have appreciated this video. I had a lot of fun making it, and I'm super excited that the Leaper, my man Sammy from down in Dallas, came up to Oklahoma to make this happen. Please give this video a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe and the notification bell, and share this so our channel can grow. You guys know I'd really appreciate that. Anyways, that's gonna do it for us. We'll see you next time. Have a great day. See ya.